Hello, everyone. A wonderful evening and a happy morning. So today we are um, going with our day 2 of 5th week. And today we'll dwell upon some time concepts of neuroscience, understanding neuroscience with respect to the thought and how thought will affect our emotional status and how the changes are brought in our body. So we'll dwell into that concept today, understanding about neuroscience. So let me share my PPT. Hope you can see it. Yeah. Okay. So today we are going to talk about functioning of brain and how it impacts our reality and how by using the power of brain we can create our own health, or are we how we are creating the diseases in our body. So how our thoughts, emotions create electric signals and chemical processes in our brain and how that affect our body. So we'll go through that. So coming to brain is the most complex organ in the human body, and it is a part of the nervous system, and the brain coordinates all the body functions. It is about 3 pounds in weight in adults, and usually brain is more like a jelly-like structure, which is made up of fats and proteins. So let's go further inside our brain. Let's understand its cognitive functions a little bit. So 75% of our brain is made up of water. So this means that dehydration, even a small amount, a distinctive change of about 2% decrease in your body water levels can cause negative effect on the brain functions. And it also causes acute changes in your memory, in your attention, everything will be affected. So to prevent any loss of your body or in the brain functions, you need to keep yourself properly hydrated, because you need to remember 75% of your brain is made of water. Now, when you dissect the brain and put the brain under the microscope, you will see that the brain is made up of more than 100 billion nerve cells. And these are called as neurons. And each neuron has about 1,000 to minimum of 1,000 to 1 lakh connections with the other neurons around. And if we think of brain as a computer, each neuron has its own biocomputer, and it is capable of processing enormous amounts of data. Neuron performs up to hundreds of thousands of functions per second. And if you tentatively try to correlate, then one neuron has more than 60 megabytes of RAM storage. So just a tentative comparison. Now, every time when you have a thought or an experience, or when you're trying to learn something, our brain, the neurons in your brain, produces a blend of chemicals that are called as neurotransmitters. So if we think of a thought, the neurotransmitter at one branch of the neuron, as you can see the picture here, that is a neuron, how it looks like. So the neuron transmitter from one branch of the neuron crosses the gap and it reaches the root of another neuron. And once they cross the gap, it is called a synapse. So the gap's name is called a synapse, but just for information. So once they cross the gap, the neuron then fires with an electric bolt of information. So each and every cell, in fact, not only neuron, each and every cell of the human body is like a battery, and at a resting state, it has a negative charge inside and a positive charge outside. So the cells talk to each other in electric signals. And if you keep on continuing thinking the same thought and learning the same things, the neurons also keep on firing in the same way. And that further strengthens the relationship between two cells, so that they can, next time when an impulse is sent or when you get a stimulus to a particular thing that you got used to, the signal is immediately passed to the body. It doesn't take much time like the before. And there is a new branch of science called neurogenesis that is under a lot of research, which is very, very new. It defines that neurogenesis says that our neurons, our brain, of the neurons, our brain has an ability to grow new neuronal cells even in adults. Because as a medical student in my college, in my during my times of studying, I was told that no, the brain cells in the adult brain can't grow. But there is a new research that's been carrying out in just few years back that is telling that yes, the brain cells in adults can also be grown, and it happens in a region in your brain, and we have a capability that we can produce 700 neuron cells per day. So yes, we are producing new neurons. Now I've put down a animation video for you to understand how the neurons fire information. Let's please see it.
Communicate with each other, relaying messages throughout your body and powering all of your thoughts and actions. Neurons talk to each other using both electrical and chemical signals. Messages start as electrical signals traveling rapidly down a neuron. These signals are called action potentials. When they reach the gap between two neurons, the messages need some help to get across. The information is transformed from an action potential into a chemical message, which crosses the gap called a synapse. The release of those chemical messengers can trigger an action potential in the neuron on the other side of the synapse, conveying the message onward. Or it can quiet the message. This happens over and over and over. And with repeated activity, the synapse gets stronger, so the next message is more likely to get through. That way, neurons learn to pass on important messages and ignore the rest. This is how our brains learn and adapt to an ever.
So that's how inside your brain, every thought you have, the neurons talk to each other by electric and chemical signals, and they pass the information to the rest of the body. Now, that's why we need to repeat these particular information. Like if you want to create a new thought, then you need to repeat it. But before that, I would tell about this gentleman, Eric Kandel. He's a Nobel laureate. He's a psychiatrist as well as a neuroscientist. And he has won his Nobel Prize for his extensive work on aspects of memory, understanding about how the memory functions in the brain. Now, doing his research, Mr. Eric Kandel found out that when new memories are formed, the synaptic connections, as you have seen earlier in the animation, those little spider web-like branches between two neurons, those synaptic connections are doubled. They form 2,600 new connections every time when you start learning something new. And if we don't repeat that new learning experience over and over again, then the number of synaptic connections falls back to 1,300. That is, it breaks down to half within a matter of 3 weeks. So we need to repeat what we have learned enough times to strengthen the bond between the neurons. And that's why it's very important that if you want to bring a change, we need to continuously update, review, and remember all our new thoughts, new choices, new behaviors, our beliefs or experiences. We need to repeat them if you want to solidify them into your brain. And it said that if learning is making new synaptic connections, then remembering is keeping those synaptic connections wired together. Now let's understand about these thoughts, because everything is thought, like all the diseases, everything is like psychosomatic, whether good or bad, everything is starting from thought. So let's understand how we can use this thought and move away from the old reality towards this new reality. What is the process? How do we do it? For that, we need to understand our thoughts. So our human brain basically is a random thought generator. Randomly, the thoughts keep on happening. So when you perceive your external environment with your sense organs, and when you assimilate that information into your neuronal networks of your brain, you start the process of thinking. That's how you create a thought, which is the most simplest way to understand a thought. Because given the physical complexity of what's happening inside your head, it is not easy to trace a thought from beginning to end. It's impossible. Now, just try imagining seeing this picture here, this animated picture here, just try imagining how trillions of neuronal connections and billions of simultaneous transmission of neurochemicals coalesce inside your brain to form a thought. There are like thousands of electric impulses and chemical reactions that are produced in your brain just to bring out a single thought. Now, there are various types of thoughts in our brain. We have miraculous thoughts, positive thoughts, negative thoughts, neutral thoughts. And it is known that in a given day, each one of us somewhere have between 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And 90% of them are exactly the same. So when you start your day from the same side of a bed, we are basically running in an autopilot mode every day. When you observe it, you wake up from the same side of a bed and you do your daily course almost the same way, taking the same route to the office, your workplace, eating the lunch at the same time, coming back and having the dinner at the same time, brushing your teeth, going back to bed, almost just like a routine. It's like a habit. It's like something you are doing in an autopilot mode. You're not even consciously aware of it. You just do it. So he says that, it's very important here to remember that when we are in autopilot mode over a period of time, we reach to that stage because we try to self-hypnotize ourselves. Because the same thoughts which will enable us to make the same choices, and that same choices will elicit the same behavior, and the same behavior will create a same experience, and that will produce the same emotions. And day in and day out, you are under this vicious cycle, and you're not even consciously or subconsciously aware of it. And we activate the same brain circuits to produce the same brain chemicals that activate the same genes, and that will create the same proteins, and that will create the same older self of yourself every day. So our yesterday is always becoming our tomorrow, and our past is our future. And we attribute our state of being, that is our mind and body, when together is defined as our state of being. So our thoughts, our expectations, our feelings, our emotions, all these culminate to form our personality. And if we want to change to a new one, we need to become conscious of our unconscious behaviors. We need to be become conscious of what we are doing. What is our behavior? How are we reacting to an emotion? We need to be conscious of that. And then when we fire the neurons in support of a new thought, when you understand that there is an old thought and replace it with a new thought, then a new cocktail of chemicals or neurotransmitters are activated. And these will go and activate, when they are released, they'll go and activate new genes, and the DNA gets activated, and the genes get coded, and new proteins are synthesized, forming new cells. And when you keep on repeating the thought, the synaptic connections between the neurons get enriched and they get thickened. And not only a new thought brings a change, it brings a change neurologically, it brings a change chemically, and it brings a change genetically also. So you create a new version of you, both at the level of thought, at the level of your neurochemicals, and at the level of your cells. A new body is regenerated. Now, there are these concepts called as neurorigidity and neuroplasticity, which is very important to understand. So neurorigidity is something which tells that nerve cells that fire together wire together. And our mind is brain in action. If your brain is in action, then you can say it's your mind, something like that, like a metaphorically. So if you are now reminding yourself of who you think you are on your daily basis by reproducing the same flowchart that I've shown earlier, we will end up activating the same neuronal networks. And by the time we reach 30 years old or 35 years of age, our brain has organized itself into this finite signature of automatic programs, these fixed patterns of attitudes and beliefs that will represent ourselves, and that becomes our identity. And we basically are hardwired, and our brain is so hardwired in thinking from that particular box. We have this limited pattern of thinking. So this is called as neurorigidity. And what is neuroplasticity? Researchers have found that if we need to think out of the box to make the brain fire new thought, researchers in the field of neuroplasticity said that when we learn new things and begin to think in new ways, we are making our brain to fire in different sequences. So we are basically changing our brain. New synaptic connections are forming. So neuroplasticity says that we can do the pruning and sprouting of the brain. That is, we can get rid of some neuronal connections, patterns, and circuits and create new ones, if at all it's required. So to break ourselves free from the conditioning, which is keeping us in the same loop, we need to learn, we need to gather information, we need to have knowledge, because this helps us to think and perceive reality differently. Because now once the information or the knowledge is provided to you, you start seeing life through different lens, through a different mind. So there is an aspect of you to bring that new thought and have that new choice and new experience. So neuroplasticity says that our brain is always open to learning. It's always trying to expand. And we need to come out of that box and make the neurons fire and build up that new neurons and do it repeatedly so that you strengthen that connection. Now, this is a beautiful video which I've picked up, where in the laboratory they try to map the neuronal cells, trying to connect with each other as well as trying to deconnect with each other. The pruning and the sprouting thing is beautifully done. This is not an animation. So that's how it's a beautiful video that depicts how neurons are trying to connect with each other, and how when you are forming a new thought, the neuronal connections are forming, and when you reinforce the thought, the connections further strengthen. And also the pruning also, when you don't think of a particular thought, the neuronal connections, they're broken down, and that's how you try to shift your neurochemical aspect in your brain towards your body. So that's a beautiful video. I hope you liked it. So now we are coming to the aspect of memories, because I think the human body is like a storage of memory, and our brain is everything works with memory. So we need to understand a little bit of this memory and see that how these memories help us to think, feel, and be in whatever the state we want to be. So now there are two types of memories. You call it as declarative or explicit memories, and non-declarative or implicit memories. So these declarative memories come under the concept of your conscious mind, and the non-declarative memories are categorized under your subconscious mind. So these declarative memories, you can say there are of two types. They are semantic memories and episodic memories. So this semantic memories are usually like you with respect to your theory and philosophy. So for example, it's about your general world knowledge, or the concepts, or the ideas, or the theory, or the facts that we have in terms of knowledge and information that comes under the semantic memory. For example, if you know what a dog is, the details of a dog, or you try to remember the capital of India. So the details, the factual details, that comes under the semantic memories. And these are the memories that are accumulated in your brain over a period of time throughout all your life. Now there are other types of memories called, the other type of memory is called as episodic memory. So this episodic memory is the memory of experiences of specific events that occurred during our lives. So this episodic memory is the memory of experiences of specific events that occurred during our lives. So for example, when you try remembering that on a particular day you took your dog for a walk, or you try to remember your marriage day, or when you try to remember your birthday that happened just few months back or last year. So all these memories that you keep on try to remember, these are come under the category of episodic memories. So explicit memories are basically conscious memories that you declare that you try to remember. Now, there are other types of memories. The second one, it is called as non-declarative or implicit memories. So when we practice something repeatedly over a period of time, then it becomes our second nature. It becomes a habit, right? We no longer have to think about it. We no longer have to consciously put focus and concentration on it to work on it. You can just do it, just like how you try to learn car, when you try to do it over a period of time, even though when you're talking to someone, when the signal falls down, you try to immediately put the brake on, you do it immediately. So it became a second nature, it became a habit, because you are doing it day in and day out. So this second memory, or the non-declarative or the implicit memories, are the memories that you don't need to be consciously aware of it. You just do it. So basically, this is the seat of our skills, our habits, our automatic behaviors, our associated memories, our unconscious attitudes, all our emotional reactions, all these things come under implicit or non-declarative memories. Now, let us understand something about these three brains that you're seeing, that is neocortex, limbic brain, and cerebellum. Now, neocortex is with respect to our semantic memories. That is, you can see the picture there. There's a light yellow color. That is the region which depicts the neocortex. So neocortex is our conscious mind. It is our largest and most evolved in the human beings than the rest of the species, except for dolphins. So when you touch your front of your head, that is a region above your eyebrows, the front of the brain, this is a part of the neocortex called as forebrain. Now this brain is your creative center. It is your conscious mind. And this will help you to perform all day-to-day activities like learning, decision making, behavioral control, your focus, concentration, attention, intentions to do things, the ability to invent, think about new possibilities. All these things come under this activity of neocortex. So this part of the brain helps us in learning new things, having new experiences. So every time you are learning new things, you are forming new synaptic connections. Please remember that. And so all this philosophy, theory, knowledge, data, information that you have gathered, you store into your neocortex, right? The semantic memory is stored in your neocortex. So now the next step is, this stored data needs to be applied. It needs to be demonstrated. It needs to be initiated. The knowledge should be put forth. So when you do it properly, then your action matches with your thought and your body matches with your mind. Now in a mindset of when you're experiencing something, all your five senses are plugged into the environment. That's how you experience something. So you gather all the sensory information that rushes back to your brain. And now the nerve cells starts signaling your second brain, that is your limbic brain or the emotional brain. Now the neurons start forming chemicals and they'll release, which results in the emotions and feelings. So the moment you are feeling happy or sad or abundant from a kind of an experience, you are teaching your body chemically to understand what your mind intellectually understood. Basically, knowledge is for mind and experience is for your body. And when you start perceiving new information from the environment, you literally start signaling your genes, changing your genetic expression. Now, this limbic brain is the seat of your anatomic nervous system that is subconsciously regulating your hormonal levels in your body, your respiratory rate, your heart rate, your temperature, and everything. So new experiences create new emotion that change your body because it is sitting in the limbic brain. Now, if we are able to recreate an experience over and over and over again, then you are able to neurologically and neurochemically condition your mind as well as your body. And now they begin to work as one. Because most of the time our mind is thinking something and our body is thinking something. There is no synchronicity at all. So for us to manifest something, whether it's a good health or what do you say, anything in your life, your body and mind should be in equilibrium. So if you do this thing repeatedly, your body also knows how to do it as well as your mind. So it becomes your innate or your automatic or something that it becomes your second nature. And it will go into your subconscious program. Now, whenever you need to do something, you don't need to focus or you don't need to have that attention because it has become your habit. And when you do it repeatedly over a period of time, it enters into your third brain, that is your cerebellum. So when we take what we want intellectually from neocortex and apply it, personalize it, or demonstrate it, we will create a new experience, which will produce a new emotion through your limbic brain. There, they will become declarative memories. And if we can repeat, replicate, or experience that action at will, we will move into a state of being. And there, that memories will become as non-declarative memories. So this is how you think, feel, and act. So this thinking, feeling, and being brain is at work through this mechanism. Okay. So now, as we have discussed about earlier, that all the thoughts that you have will form new neural networks, and that networks will release all these chemical compounds, which will go and signal these cells. It will sit on the receptors of the cells, as you can see here, and that will activate the nucleus, and that DNA and the genetic new types of genes get activated, and new proteins are expressed and formed, and these new proteins form new cells, and that's how you create new healthy body, and that's how we create new version of yourself. So this is the beautiful mechanism and how a thought can ultimately manifest for you to create a healthy body. So everything starts from the process of thought. Now, for that, we need to understand that our brain is the biggest pharmacy, and you need to know that it is completely free. There is no charge. The brain does not charge us anything. But for us to manifest this thing, we need to have a clear intention, and that elevation needs to be, emotion needs to be elevated, because when these two combinations work together, then you start changing your biology. Because we need to understand thoughts are the language of the brain and emotion is the language of the body. Our body, which means the cells in our body, have receptors. So when these neurochemicals are released from the brain, go and flush those or go and push the buttons of those receptors, then the body will understand the language of what the brain is telling. That's how the synchronicity between your thought and your body, if it is happening properly, then you change the biology. But for that, you need to do anything repeatedly, because as we have seen the earlier video, our neuronal networks should be strengthened. So for that, you need to do it in a very repetitive and very consistent manner. So now, before we end, we'll talk a little bit about these brain waves in a very brief way. So just to start with, courtesy to Joe Dispenza. So just to start with, when you are waking up in the morning, when your eyes are open and you perceive the light through your optical retina, through your optical nerve, it enters into your brain center, and there it goes and activates your pineal gland. So when the pineal gland inside your brain is activated, it makes a neurotransmitter called serotonin. Now, this serotonin will cause excitatory function in the brain, means it will wake your brain up. Your conscious brain is like woken up. And now when you are open, when you're like wakeful enough, like you're active enough at that point of time, you will start paying attention to your outer world. And now the brain starts doing its job by creating meaning between the outer world and inner world, because our brain wants to have meaning for everything. We don't want to just be like that. We try to assign meaning or explanation or anything for everything that we are seeing. So that's how our brain works. So now at this point of time, your neocortex, that is your conscious mind, is like excited and it is working very actively. And later in the night, when you close your eyes and when the light focus of the light is decreased and when you are turned off away from the light, your pineal gland takes the serotonin and then it converts it into melatonin. Now, melatonin is responsible for your sleep cycle, and that's how you sleep in the night. So when you close your eyes similarly and sit in meditation, or whether you put blindfolds on you and disconnect from the external environment, your attention to the outer world is drastically reduced because you are seeing lesser information. We need to understand that 80% of the sensory information comes through our eyes. So when you're putting on your headphones on and you're closing your eyes out, you're mostly blocking all the external information. So at this moment, your brain waves move into alpha state. And at this state, the inner world is more real. You start to perceive your inner world more because you have completely bogged your outer world. And your attention is more towards your inner world. And when you allow your body to fall asleep, your body, and over a period of time, when you see that you no more feel your body, everyone once or a while would have felt that experience. So when you allow your body to fall asleep but your mind is awake, then that state of brainwave is called as theta brainwaves. And it happens in longer hours of meditation. When you do longer hours of meditation consistently, your body is no longer a mind. Your body will sleep, only your mind is active. Now, in the delta waves are seen in conditions of deep restorative sleep. You go into deep sleep. Sometimes you feel like at that point of time, your brain waves are in delta state. And in gamma waves are usually seen in superconsciousness state. So what happens in this superconsciousness state is, at this state, when you're trying to, especially it happens in your meditation, when the energy, vital force in our body that is sitting in our lower energy centers, which we use daily for our, to eat, to fight with someone, or to digest the food, to excrete the food, for all our day-to-day activities, the energy that we use, when you are in this particular state of brain waves, it will start to move upwards. And now when it starts to move upwards, both sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system of your body will completely relax your body, and the energy is released into your brain. The gush of energy is released into your brain. And in the brain, when there is a gate called thalamic gate in your brain stem, when it opens, it enters into your pineal gland. And we need to understand our pineal gland is very sensitive to pressure. And that rush of energy will compress it, and there is a release of electromagnetic energy. And the pineal gland, when it gets that amount of energy, it will convert the melatonin that is there in our, in our body, it will convert it into a very profound neurotransmitter. And that electric current will activate the nervous system, and we produce a profound hallucinogenic that is called as dimethyltryptamine. This is called as DMT, that is produced by our pineal gland. That's why when we say that I am in that super consciousness state, I am in that state where I completely away from my reality around, that super consciousness state is something that is happening in your body in this way. So in that state, the gamma You are in that state of gamma waves, your inner world experiences become more powerful than your outer world. And your body moves out of past. And in this condition, at this particular state of condition, many people get healed instantaneously when this energy is released in the body. And coming to delta waves, from age 0 to 2 years, children are mostly functioning in delta wave patterns. And between 2 to 6 years of age, children's, then the brain waves that are seen are theta waves, because they're mostly in lucid state, they're observing everything. And between age 0 to 6 years old, the brain is completely in subconscious state. All the information is all the attention is in the inner world, not in the outer world. And in alpha brainwave state, they are in an imaginary state. The children, when they are in alpha brainwave state, they are usually in imaginary state. That's why they pretend to play, they pretend to interact with someone who is like not there. They try to pretend in that imaginary world. Now, after 12 years, immediately the brainwave moves from alpha to beta. And a majority of us usually are in low level beta waves. That is, we are listening and we are simultaneously doing something. So we are in that low level beta wave state. But if you like a concept, or if someone say that now we have an exam, you need to suddenly they declare that is an exam and you need to write it, then you move from the beta to alpha state. All attention or focus comes into that point. So in order for us to learn something, anything new, we need to switch from beta to alpha state. So alpha state is a state where you could learn things in a much better way. So our goal is also to move from beta to alpha state, because we feel more spontaneous, more poised, more clear in understanding about things that are happening around us. So this is something about brief things, because there are so much in neuroscience. I wanted to culminate it down, but I try to put few things that are very important, especially the aspect of neurogenesis and how the neurons fire and wire together, and how we feel, with our intention, we can create a good health for ourselves. It all starts with having a new thought. Okay, now we'll do the meditation and we'll take the questions after the session. Yeah, thank you so much.
Namaste, friends. So now let us dive into alpha state, taking a comfortable position, going out of your autopilot mode, taking few deep breaths. It changes your feeling when you consciously breathe. Inhale consciously with eyes gently closed. Indriyanam nayanam pradhanam, as she was telling. When you close the eyes, your connection to the outer world is reduced more than 80%. So let's go deeper and deeper by first relaxing the whole body consciously. Inhalation, exhalation, when you do consciously, you can feel what is happening. Otherwise, you'll be in autopilot mode. Every thought has impact. You are even breathing unconsciously, normally. So just change your thoughts, become more and more aware. Inhaling positive energy, exhaling all the used up energy, releasing the tension, stress from every part of the body. So take a comfortable position. Spine erect preferred always. Without support, those who can sit on the ground, wonderful. So that you change. As we have just learned, don't use all the comfort. Use the body, every part. Use it or lose it, as I said the other day. Every day, in every way, you find improvement, getting better and better. Once you close the eyes and take a comfortable position, now become aware of your body, sending your awareness to different parts and feeling them getting relaxed. Bring your awareness to your left toes, left foot. Relax your left big toe. Next, the first toe, relax, left foot. Second toe, relax. Third toe, relax. Left foot, little toe, relax. Relax the sole of left foot. Just bring your awareness, that's all, no movement. Relax, top of the left foot. Ankle, relax. From ankle to knee joint, relax. Left knee, relax. Left thigh, relax. Left hip joint, relax. Now shift your awareness to the right foot. The big toe, relax. First toe, right foot, relax. And the second, the third, and the little toe, right foot, relax. Bottom of the foot, relax. Top of the foot, relax. Right ankle, relax. Right calf, relax. Right knee, relax. Right thigh, relax. The very words, enough to get relaxed. Spine, right hip joint, relax. Relax your hips. Relax both the legs, from hips to toes. Totally relax. Now moving up. Relax your hands. Awareness. Your left hand. Thumb. Relax one by one. Left index finger. Relax. Big finger. Relax. Ring finger. Relax. Left middle finger. Left palm. Relax. Back of the palm. Relax. Left wrist. Relax. Left forearm. Relax. Left elbow. Relax. Left upper arm. Relax. Shift your awareness to the right hand. Relax. Index finger, mid finger, ring finger, little finger, right arm, relax. Back of the palm, relax. Right wrist, relax. Right forearm, relax. Right elbow, relax. Right upper arm, bicep, tricep, relax. Right shoulder blade, relax. Relax the whole of right arm. Relax both arms. Bring your awareness to pelvis. Relax the pelvic muscles. Coccyx region, lower back. Relax. Abdominal area. Feel every organ getting relaxed. Just be there. Relax externally and internally. Relax your mid-back and the upper back, ligaments, tissues. Relax your rib cage. Relax. Arms. Relax. Heart. Relax. Thymus gland. Relax. Now your body from shoulder to feet is completely relaxed. Now relax your neck, front side, back side, throat, externally and internally. Relax. Back of your head. Relax. Top of your head. Relax your skull. Sides of the head. Temples. Relax. Left forehead. Right forehead. Relax. Right eyebrow. Left eyebrow. Left eyelid. Relax. Collapse the eyeball. Left eyeball, relax. Right eyelid. Relax. Eyeball. Relax. Eyelashes. Relax the wall of your nose. Relax. Your right nostril. Relax. Left nostril. Relax. Left ear. Relax. Right ear. Relax. Your right cheek. Relax. Left cheek. Upper lip. Relax. Jaw. Relax. Lower lip. Relax. Lower jaw. Relax. Tongue in the mouth. Relax. Release tension from the teeth. Relax. Feel the smile. Whole face smiling and relaxed. Relax. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. If any part is inviting your attention like a baby, just be there for a while. Just caress that part. Just awareness. Feel the feeling, feeling to being. Just be in yourself. Deeper and deeper. Your true self, true nature. Everything is conscious. Just feel the whole body becoming lighter and lighter, becoming one with the mind. Listen to the sounds in your place, room where you are. Just be aware. Just listen for a while. Be there in your awareness. Okay, listen whatever you want. It's not the ears, it is your awareness. Listen to the sound outside the room. Now, everything takes you to the deeper and deeper state of relaxation. Now, listen to the faraway sounds. Maybe miles away you can listen. Just listen. Breathing normally. Come back. Closest to sound. Breathing normally. Listening. Relaxed. What are you listening? Nothing but the sounds of your breathing. That's all. It's the closest. May listen to your heartbeat, pulsation. Be there. Let the sounds come and go. I am a luminous space of awareness. The sound appears and disappears. I am a luminous space of awareness in which the sound appears and disappears. I am constant awareness, not just sounds, bodily sensations arise and disappear in me, the luminous space of awareness. Thoughts, memories arise and disappears. The luminous space of awareness. I shine upon the absence of sensations and thoughts. I am the luminous phase of awareness. Like the vast blue sky, clouds appear and disappear. Just float by. I am like that vast blue sky. That vast blue sky. In me, sounds, sensations, thoughts, and perception just float by. I am ever the same. I am ever the same. I am. I am one without a second. I am unattached. I am that. I am. Just be. Aham. Masters, Slowly, slowly become aware of physical body. Slowly come back. Take your time. I'll count from 1 to 5. At the count of 5, you may eyes, placing the palms on your eyes. You may also touch your limbs if you want. Slowly, slowly, rhythmically. Should not hurry up so that the brain wave is not getting a jerk sudden. Jump from one state to another state. It should be rhythmic. 1, 2, 3. Slowly, slowly start coming back, feeling fine and in perfect, wonderful, totally relaxed, recharged, rejuvenated. 4, 5. If you are ready, friends, you may open your eyes, a broad smile, feeling wonderful and totally relaxed, feeling definitely better than me. Thank you. Thank you. Now it's your time. Sharing queries.
Thank you, permission, sir. Thank you.
Well, actually, Subramanian sir had a question. He had raised his hand.
Oh. The masters want to
Maybe,
share anything.
yeah, maybe by mistake. Okay, when you are waiting, I would like to say one thing here. Ravali was talking about neurogenesis, a simple experiment connected to that. So we all know Chin Mudra, we adopt, thumb and index finger touching. Just simply touch, keeping the other 3 free, right? Now close your eyes and give a gentle pressure, press and release 2 few times. See what happens. You may open your eyes and you would have felt that nerve impulse if you are sensitive.
Yeah.
So the more and more, that's why different mudras like that only. So you can understand how the brain works. No message. This press and release you can feel. And this is one chin mudra. Then you change it to the next one. Keep the three fingers also closed. Now the pressure will be the three fingers pressing. Close your eyes and try for a while. Become more and more subtle, you can experience. Simply press and release. Don't remove the fingers. Release means loosening, that's all. Just when you press, you can see zoom like that, you know, you can feel the sensation, impulse. Right? Yeah. So first is Chin Mudra, this is Chinmaya Mudra, still subtler. Now keep the thumb inside. Practically thumb is touching the bottom of the little finger when you say inside. If you touch, still wonderful, because that is water element. Then close, make a fist. Now press and see, closing the eyes. Oh. This is called Adi Mudra, right? So still subtler, and this is good for also your physical health. Those who have got, you know, your Muladhara action, activating, in fact, physical, muscular system, skeletal system. Like that is also called, even some call as Hanuman Mudra and all that. Strength. So you can feel, see, message is sent to the brain and comes back. That's why the sensation you can feel. Just for that, so when you have this three mudra, you can note also how it works, just for your information, which you can practice anytime. Of course, all mudras, not immediately after food. That is the only thing. Otherwise, anytime. And if you do longer, nothing to worry. Only effect, no side effect. Right. I think now masters can come out with their experience or questions, if any, on what we learned.
Permission, sir. I had a question. Like, you know, some time back, you know, one of the classes you mentioned that there is something called neuropics or something, like, you know, from BK Chandrasekhar. So actually, is there any material or anything we can read, we can watch or something?
Right. So, who is this, sir?
My name is Madhusudan.
Okay, okay, right. Okay, good. I say psychoneurobics, if you type itself in, you know, YouTube, you get lot of materials are there. Dr. B. Sigfa, S-I-G-F-A, Sigfa healing we call, okay? He's a Brahma Kumari master. And this is practically chakra meditation only, using the colors. Are there. I also got trained under him, stayed with him, and he is in Faridabad or somewhere there, and few years back. That is actually chakra healing, psychoneurobics. So instead of calling as chakra meditation, he calls as exercises, psychoneurobic exercises, using the color. That's what I once, you know, all the colors using, I did that chakra meditation, in fact, that day. That is
so like easy.
Otherwise spa. You go to spa, you know, physically, here, internally. That's why. Right?
So like, Okay, so if you I think I search for that, like there are some videos, but I was not see like I did not see like which is like more authentic or anything like that actually. So
No,
maybe if you can share
his
something like
videos are
in the group.
published. They are all authentic his only, and you can send me a message in WhatsApp. I'll send you the link also. Anyway, presently I don't know the condition whether he is conducting any workshop, etc. But I can guide you, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions I can probably try to answer. Right? Send me a message directly.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, Srini sir.
Thank you, permission, sir, for the wisdom and the meditation. Please take one brief session on mudra, sir, if possible. Hello?
Yeah, okay. Maybe next 2 more sessions are there in this batch. Pranayama, some mudras I will include.
Thank you.
Sessions. Pranayama will be,
Yeah.
Then we can include this. Right?
Thank you, sir. I have one question for Ravli ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Ravli ma'am. Once again, a great session, and especially I've been reading on pineal gland and why it is being called as third eye, though there is no research established between these two. But there is a corollary saying that since pineal gland is also connected with a light on and off mechanism, so people are calling it as third eye. Scientists probably they are not accepting it, but since the function is both same, when we close our both eyes, it is the first step into getting into third eye activation. So similarly, pineal gland, when we encounter light, it stops producing melatonin and then serotonin. And you said DMT, right? Dimethyl tryptamine.
Tryptamine.
Yeah. You said DMT, when it is elevated, it gives us a tremendous healing power, right? So
Yes,
I have also read somewhere that elevated levels of DMT is causing death in rats in experiments. So how it is going to
Yes,
how it
sir.
is going to affect when we really do meditation and get that kind of elevation in DMT? Only science has to say.
I think those whatever artificially they are doing, I don't think so. Like how much quantity they are putting into, there are all parameters into that. But this is the DMT. This is that super consciousness, that ecstatic state that we go through, that our body generates, and the amount of DMT that is released at that point of time is, I think it's very individual. I guess it is very unique there to that person, and especially thanks to I think Joe Dispenza, because he's done so much research in that category,
Yes.
where he categorized and said that at that state when they were hooking their brains to the EEG machines and trying to get the recordings, and they found out that in this high ecstatic state of awareness, they did a research with an Australian university, and they found out that in that high ecstatic state of awareness, when the DMT got released, actually many people, whatever they were having, like the chronic illnesses, paralytic issues also got cured. So that energy it went and it hit all the low energy, low vibrating part of the body. Now, how, I don't know externally how much they are doing with rats, and do rats have that consciousness or that pineal gland or that aspect? I really don't know how it will work in comparing with the human body and the mechanics of the human body. Yeah.
But as a physician, do you third eye and pineal gland is same?
I feel pineal, we are not taught anything about pineal gland in our medical sciences. Zero knowledge on that. But I did sun gazing. I did sun gazing for 2 months, and I felt that kind of thing, because when I came to know about sun gazing, they said that when you do sun gazing, your pineal gland gets activated. So I thought, okay, I'll do it. So the HR therapy of sun gazing, which is famous, So I used to do, I just completed it 2 months back, and I felt that state. I felt that, whenever I sit into meditation now, immediately I feel that energies, lot of energies. So I think that is something which, even sun gazing also activates your pineal gland. But I think it's very personal experience. And when you try to put the scientific aspect to it, I don't know how much ever
No,
outside.
Parameswaran sir won't allow me to attribute science because he says first accept and believe and then everything will follow. But having studied science, no, these thoughts will keep on coming to me. And another thing is, thanks for explaining neurorigidity and neuroplasticity. Especially, there is a great connection between neuroplasticity and our meditative practices because we believe in visual affirmations and visual reality. And the same thing, they also talk about it. If scientists can mix both these concepts, then great things will come out of from neuroplasticity.
Oh, amazing things will come, because I was listening to one of the, I was just for neurogenesis also, because when I was studying medicine, I don't know now whether teaching or not, I don't know, but we were never taught. We were told that when you are in an adult stage, your neurons are not being generated. So if there is any neuronal damage, then that's it. So recent studies, like just couple of years back only, it was proven that neurogenesis is happening and we are producing so and so amount of nerve cells, and it's amazing. And I feel many doctors don't know it. So I think a lot of new things are unwrapping and a lot to learn actually. For me also, I have to learn a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
The epigenetics part, more than 20 years, in fact, it is known, but unfortunately, the medical field, they are not taken cognizance of, or probably they don't want to, rather. It is like that. Now there is no way it is, because more and more evidence, more and more people are into spiritual science, Therefore, it's known. Otherwise, it is known even earlier. Even 20 years back also, I heard about this epigenetics. There were doctors who come to Vivekananda Kendra and they explain interaction. And my own master, Dr. Nagendra, he is an engineer. His sister is a FRCP doctor. From her only I learned yoga asana. She teaches yoga asana. He teaches meditation. See, that is how we met. So all this she has talked. So there are spiritual scientists. It's all there. Only now, of course, because of the media and all that, we are able to access the information and the publicity is given. That's all. So it's only reaffirming. So the first question is, as of course, thought and trust. That's our belief system. Once you change, everything happens. Only those who want proof, yes, you can always probe and get it. That's all. Like Srinivas Garu, it's there, available. It can be explained in a different way. That's
Thank you.
I was seeing Raval's explanation, which I have seen how all this, even 20 years back. 20 years back.
Yeah, especially epigenetics is a Nobel Prize subject, sir. The guy got Nobel Prize also. 20 years.
About Nobel Prize, don't go too much about Nobel Prize winners. You have to listen to Dr. B.M. Hegde. Then you know how the Nobel Prize is given. Father, and only goes. Indians are not getting right.
Yeah, I know. There is politics involved in Nobel Prize.
All human being, again. That's all. Everything is an industry.
Yes.
So we cannot talk here publicly. Right? Thank you.
Thank you, Srini. Thank you, Srini sir. Thank you, Lakshmi ma'am.
So thank you again, once again, for a wonderful session. Learned a lot. Today is my mother's 81st birthday. We came back from the temple and then we listened to this nice session and good meditation. So my mother also wanted to say thank you for all the good work. She had a good time listening to the. It was great music. Okay. 1 minute.
Bless us. Bless everyone.
Okay, 1 second. You ready?
Hello, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
Parameswaran sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
We are enjoying so much. Every day we are meditating, we are having lot of calmness and we are very quiet. Very good. It is helping us.
Share the joy.
Thank you very much.
Share the joy.
Thank you.
Be blessed. Be blessed.
Good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor.
Yes, Ramakrishna sir. Yeah.
Namaste. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can
you
hear
hear
you,
me?
sir.
Okay. very
Yes,
good.
sir. Yes.
So yeah, thank you. There is a lot of theory that went in a very short session. Thank you so much for introducing this. Great. My question is, okay, you spoke about the energy, concentrating the energy and moving the energy from the bottom to the top, the chakras, pineal gland, and releasing the DMT and all that. Okay, so to be honest with you, I have half understood. I don't claim that I have understood what you said, but my question is now: is there a place where you can get trained and then spend more time on that area where you can walk into that experience?
I think Ramakrishna sir, we tell it as Kundalini awakening or Kundalini energy. So it usually happens with a long-term meditation. Usually people do it also. I think Parameshwaran sir can tell. They do it forcefully also, but it's not good. It should happen in a synchronized way. Because your body won't be able to handle it if you're not ready. That gush of energy at a time, when it gets focused onto your pineal gland, you should be in that state of mind to understand it or to experience it. So over a period of time, when you do it slowly and slowly, that happens, and it should be monitored. So I think I am telling it about something which happens naturally, but yeah, Parameshwaran sir, if you can add it.
The other day, I did the color, using the color, chakra meditation. So each chakra, we went, the color, right? In fact, so if you have an issue, for example, connected with your digestive system, then what is that yellow color? You dwell there for a longer time. See what else? You can practice that chakra meditation, that is simplest. It is harmless. So that is physical level and inner level. Healing can happen. So for that, but for supernatural experience, etc., as Ravali was telling, you have to be under guidance. Otherwise, I have seen people becoming, losing the balance. For example, you would have heard about Nityananda Swami, today's Nityananda. There was a Nityananda before also. I have gone there also. You say the name, I have gone, who are alive here today. There, hundreds of people are sitting. So when a lot of music is played, a lot of noise and all that. So people started jumping and all that. But I didn't, because I already reached some state of understanding, and so I did not. Otherwise, it will affect. So people, and similarly, other places also, just for awakening purpose, a lot of methods are used. So specific, and then you become uncontrollable. Channeling will not happen. Proper channeling is needed, direction. Otherwise, somewhere awakening. That's why nobody should talk about Kundalini Shakti. It is there within us. What is the purpose? That's all we have to understand. What we need. We want to live in joy. So be aware and do pranayam and see that right kind of food and see that's all. And don't expect supernatural experiences. If what is ultimate goal? Yes. Realization, going beyond body, mind, and all that. So slowly, but if there is any issue physically, mentally, yes, that specific chakra, when you understand, as I said the other day, all you can do using that color psychoneurobics, what just now the other friend asked, Madhu was asking. So you can feel that area for a longer time, whether heart or nothing to worry. Just you are only visualizing the color light, and that is spreading to the whole body. First in that same chakra, then it is spreading. Like that you can visualize. So you see, like what you are talking about epigenetics, that light automatically changes. Like that, as I said, even the color, wearing dresses, changing the color, you can see some are vibrant, some are cold, like that. So it changes externally and internally. That much is sufficient. Otherwise, you have to go to the right masters for fully. You have to spend a lot of time. Then only you can learn properly. Otherwise, you will get into difficulties. Better not to attempt. Right? Thank you.
Okay, sure. So one question is now, what Joe Dispenza is talking about in his book, is it same as Kundalini Yoga?
Which one?
The heal your body or heal yourself, or no, you are the placebo. You are the placebo, where he's talking about, cleaning.
Yeah.
Coming out of his injury from backbone injuries and all that. Is it the same?
You can.
Yes. So I mean, it might have happened with him in his deep meditational states, but it's more about his consciously changing the thought and rewiring his body. So it's not more focused towards the Kundalini aspect, but he more focuses on the aspect that, when you consciously change your thought, because he says beautifully that your body does not understand present, past, and future. And it all reacts only by your thought. So close your eyes and you start visualizing as if you are experiencing that moment. So when you start experiencing it, you will release the chemicals and you will switch on some genes and switch off some genes. And then you will go into healing process. So it's more focused in that way, not more like Kundalini energy concept wise.
Yeah, placebo effect is real, actually. See, I have experience, I have done also, I do even now. See, placebo effect, fake it to make it, he say like that. So it's a placebo effect. One doctor actually, so a person was having a lot of issues. So he used to go to him and he'll simply give some aspirin or just one tablet. He will say, take this 2 times, 3 times, like that. And you feel nice, you are fine, you are wonderful. You see, every day you are improving, like that. He used to talk to him nicely. He goes back and he comes back and he says, yeah, I'm better and better, It is not that tablet, that is only for psychological satisfaction. He has given a minimum something. But the words which he spoke, which has gone to his brain, that is changing, that feeling. So that is changing. And for your information, my own wife, I do this for information. She says some problem, some minimum, some small tablet will be there in Ayurveda or something, which is harmless. I just used to give, this will be all right. She will say after some time, yeah, it's good. Because I given her faith in that. That's all. I'm telling you, I'm doing this regular. So like that it works. So everything belief system coming back, it can do wonders. Placebo effect is real, it works. That's all. Only supernatural experience, all we should not mystic experience. Let happen, that's all in natural way. But creating is dangerous by artificial way, right?
Thank you.
Sir. Yeah, thank you, Ramakrishna sir. Yeah, Nayan Joshi sir. Hi, sir. Oh, I didn't unmute you. Yeah. Can you?
What is this, Dr. Ravali? What is this concept of or this subtle body? So what do they mean by subtle body? Because it's so much brought into, because it's the subtle body. There's a mind-body connection, but there is a body-subtle body connection. What is this subtle body? How you influence the subtle body, or how you are sensitive to it? Because health, again, is corroborated to the subtle body. So what is it from your research point of view?
No. Yeah, Chandra sir, you want to add? Okay, shall I talk?
You do it. Then if you miss something, then I will.
Okay, so see, like last week we have talked about these subtle bodies on talking the concepts of panchakoshas. That we see physical body like this matter, just like dense matter, and we don't bring the concepts of having this thought and emotion, no role of this aspect of thought and emotion. And when we ask what is thought, what is emotion, we don't understand it because we can't see it. So we always see our physical body with respect to the mechanistic view that, we have parts and everything. If it goes into repair, we try to repair it and everything. But the body works in a different way, which is something I came to understand, that there are subtler levels to your body, subtler levels in the concept that there is a thought and emotion that is at play. And there are much, energy fields around your body that is under action. And the subtler thing is something which is not visible to your naked eye. You can't see those things, but that energy field is always there around you, which is under action. So that's why when we say that all the diseases, whether this be chronic diseases, especially that is happening right now in our day-to-day times, when they say it's psychosomatic and they say that fix your lifestyle. So we don't understand what to do with our lifestyle. You're eating everything possible, but the things are not happening right. No, we need to see that there are subtle things that are happening. Your thoughts, your emotions are at play, and we are not putting concentration on it. So this emotional body, this intellectual body, and all these are subtler realms which we need to bring into emphasis on. So that's my understanding.
Basically, the five koshas, Dhanmaya kosha.
Yes, the aspect of five koshas, which our Indian tradition has talked about a lot. And now the things, that electromagnetic field of energy that is being, generated around you because of these five koshas are always at play. And there are chakras at play, which we have no idea about. So all these energy meridians, our body is like, when we see, if we could get eyes to see all these things, then that would be beautiful. But we don't have eyes to see that. So we are only seeing as a matter. But we understand when we are not matter, but energy, then the whole quantum physics has given us a beautiful understanding that at the, most minutest level, we are atoms and molecules segregated together beautifully. Now, what is inside atom? Nothing is there. So as we are going denser, 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 we became matter. Now, if you become lighter, 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 you become atom. So that's the beauty that, everything is about energy and energy. And everything is around you is also energy, which is getting influenced by you, and you're also influencing it. So, yeah.
So why don't we teach this in schools to children first?
I think this is the first thing that should be taught, I guess. First thing that should be taught to everyone.
You're missing the essentials and you're teaching.
Sir, that is the influence. That is the influence of what we have been inheriting as a legacy, wiping out the original legacy and the heritage.
Correct, correct. This was our legacy and we forgot it and we brought...
This was our heritage.
Right.
It was our heritage, and we, in the recent past, whatever we inherited, I'm calling that the legacy. What was ancient and was always available and has always been available is the heritage.
Right.
So now, actually just trying to explain it in a simpler terms than what Ravali was just saying. In medical science, you have anatomy, you have physiology, right? You have various layers coming up, right?
Right.
The same way, you now start thinking about energy perspective and our body. That is your subtler bodies. Actually, even in the koshas, right? I was originally thinking it was only 5. There also corresponding to the chakras, you have 7, out of which the top 3 are combined into our what we call the Anandamaya kosha. That is why you have 5 koshas. They are all combined, but if you start breaking it down and as you learn deeper and deeper, as you go deeper and deeper, you will realize that you have as much in the kosha system as much as we have in the chakra system. And there it is a combination. Here it is segregated. That's the only.
Dr. Ravali, what is the Dr. Dispenza or Joe Dispenza always talks of quantum field. So what does he mean by that? Always he talks of quantum field. Make changes in the quantum field.
Instead of Ravali, let me help and then Ravali can.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, she's always talking. She's referring to Joe. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Any of you can.
No. See, it's like this. Anything beyond speed of light the Newtonian physics that we read and learn about fades. Right? Anything that goes beyond the Newtonian physics, because we know everything is not physical. Newtonian physics works for only the physical elements.
Right.
If you go beyond the physical, there is a new branch. I think it started with Neil Bohr or something like that, but then there were a lot of experiments when they started studying the movement of electrons and waves and all that, storing their experience, experiment that they talk about. All these started in 1926 when they wanted to go beyond the speed of light and then understand physics, understand our evolution, all these. That is where the division of anything physical is equal to subatomic particles plus how they become, the wave theory, and how the frequency and amplitude of the frequency impacts the physical and non-physical. When they go into that depth, that study, that science is quantum physics. It is referred to as quantum physics. It is also referred to as quantum mechanics. There is a lot many scientific explanations. I tried to simplify it by giving you the generic answer.
Yeah, but Dr. Chandra Saab, this is what you are saying is absolutely correct. It is on the physical side. When we're talking of this quantum physics and quantum mechanics, it's on the physical side.
Right.
But what I feel, Dr.
No, quantum is not on the physical side. Not on the physical side.
Okay.
Physical side is Newtonian.
Okay, but again, it's a physical science, right? But Dr. Joe Dispenza is talking of some esoteric science, which is regarding energy, but human.
No, it is not esoteric. It is not esoteric. He is talking about the non-physical. How the non-physical you can vibrate and bring it down to physical by varying. For example, his definition of ill health, his definition of disease is nothing but lowering the frequency of vibration of the body. Right? Because everything has got a fundamental frequency, we know that. The practical example of this we can see in the houses that are getting built in Japan. They were being impacted by the frequency of vibration which was causing the earthquakes. Why are the houses not collapsing now? Because they have identified the concept of fundamental frequency and then moved it away from the fundamental frequency at which the maximum vibration of the earth occurs during earthquake. Right? I'm just taking this. This is not an example of quantum physics, but I'm taking an analogous practical implication. So by just ruling your energy levels in the body, you are either building your immunity or you are collapsing your immunity. That is the knowledge that Joe Dispenza is giving to us, saying that this is how I use. So if you take you are the placebo, he comes home. He comes home after his injury, and in 9 weeks flat, without surgery, he is back. How is he doing it? So he builds, actually he explains it in his prologue of that book. He explains it, saying that every minute I went through the process of how it was healing me mentally. I would get into some fear somewhere. That fear, I would again restart the entire process again and again till I got it right. Saying that I have mentally healed myself. The mind does not know, the body does not know the difference whether it is from the mind or from the physical aspect. Right? It doesn't know whether it is physical or coming from the mind. The body cannot differentiate that because body responds to feeling.
Right.
And this feeling is created in the mind or it can be physical. But the impact is the process of it creating that impact. That is what he created his own methodology. We will be going more into this in the last week when we do the practical of how we do the manifestations.
Sir, he did influence the subtle body, in other words.
Yes,
To
yes,
heal.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
He understood that subtle body can influence my physical body by application of the thought process at the subtle layer, forming it up, believing it, and then bringing down the vibration to the physical state. And this is not new. If we go back to our heritage, Parmeshwaran sir will start quoting a number of examples on how it has been utilized in the past. It is always there.
I know. Yes, yes.
Right. So that is what he brings out. In You Are the Placebo, he brings that out. And that is the quantum physics that he talks about.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, Chandra sir.
Chandra sir, can we take it this way? Yesterday, Rauli ma'am said each cell has molecule has atom has subatomic particles. So when we have subatomic particles and when they are traveling beyond the speed of light, it creates a quantum field outside our physical body. Can we take it that simple way?
It doesn't create a quantum field outside. It creates it both inside and outside.
Okay.
See, sir, we keep using this word quantum. Let us throw away that word and then come from the energy perspective. If we try to divide ourselves from the energy perspective, we are subatomic particles. We are waves. Now, in these waves, what is contained? It is energy, it is information, it is intelligence, it is amplitude. All these parameters are contained within this energy. So this energy doesn't mean that I take some energy measurement tool and then I measure. That is only one portion of it. Then there is a lot of information around it. That information is like the DNA, which is directing the DNA to produce what is required. Your DNA, RNA and all, it's not my subject. So I will be making mistakes there. But the concept basically is that, yes, when I have got information, sir, how do we decode the radio waves? How physical are the radio waves? That is energy, right?
Right.
Any radio wave that we take is energy. That energy is existing within us. It is also existing outside us. It is also existing in that small Smith trigger based electronic component that we have, which we call a radio. He is able to tune to that frequency. There is a max, then it gets transformed into some other form. So that electrical signal, that energy is now getting transformed into sound. Because he is able to tune into that, connect it, establish that connection, then he is decoding the information that is contained in that portion of the energy. That is the way the whole thing works, sir. So that is the way it works. Not sure if I have answered your question in complete, but that's the way it works. And that is why they keep saying, you create your own reality. You create it. No one creates it for you. It is our feeling and desire. In fact, if you start reading this book, Thinking and Destiny by Harold Percival, he says you don't have 5 senses. You have got only 4 senses.